Hey, what is that?
It's a mirror that I had in prison. I had this for like the last 5 years I was there. You gotta kind of smuggle it wherever you go. I'd be like shaving and, you know, looking at myself in the mirror. Man, I could see who's coming or who's going. When they come and search your cell, they hit your cell so hard and they like to break things and take things, you know? So this mirror has made it with me most of the time, more than half of my way in there.
Skating is like Peter Smolik said, there's no coaches. You're your own boss. So there's no structure is the right word to be like, hey, you gotta get up, you gotta do this. And we kind of like, I don't know, we kind of do what we want. So you kind of gotta live and learn, you know what I'm saying?
How we even got into skating was crazy. I stole my first board. Didn't even know about skating. I seen some two Oriental kids on the block when we were on bikes, and we went and told them if we could borrow their skateboards just because they seen them hopping on the board. I hit them up like, how much are they? How much are these boards? And they told us this price, and it was like $49.50 at the time. $49.50 is a lot of money for my mom and dad. So where do we go? We went out towards Beverly Hills, Eagle Rock, Glendale, looking around. And I hate to say it, but we were looking around for little white boys to rob them.
I had seen him skate a few times when he would come riding around with our other friend Juan, and I knew these guys were on top of their game. They were the best I had seen, so I said, okay, these are the guys I need to be around. You know, I wanted to be around the best, and I knew that being around Fabian was, you know, gonna help me.
Back in the day, back in like 87, 88, we used to go to this ramp on 23rd of Vermont near USC, and to get there, you got to pass through like at least three or four different gang neighborhoods.
At least, man.
So to get there and to come back home was a mission.
I lived in a gang neighborhood, and I guess a rival gang had come looking to shoot up, and they actually caught us right when Fabian was about to leave. And I was like, all right, man, I'll see you later. And we
it was
looked,
a burgundy Regal with a sunroof.
And then as soon as I look, I was like, yo, these guys are creeping
was
up
like
real
this.
slow. All of a sudden, bro, all I remember was some dude coming out of the roof. Yo, the first time I seen a real Uzi. I remember when you were in here, it was like you were in a different world. You'd forget that you were in the hood. You'd forget, I mean, there'd be, I don't even know how many shootouts we've seen back then.
You think it's like a nicer area now?
Now it's way nicer. Echo Park, all the way up to here in Silver Lake, as of 2002 or 3, it really changed. It's like, you see a lot of more like artsy people living in Echo Park, running around now. Back then, I mean, I grew up, born and raised there, and you would never see that. Yeah, all right here in this area, there's Crazies, Echo Park, Headhunters, and Diamond. We're on Douglas Street. If you go 2 blocks up and to the left, that's Diamond Street. This is Headhunters.
So why is that? Why not?
It's just, dude, it's like a group of kids that grew up on this block didn't get along with the group of kids that are on that block. Mm-hmm. And that's how it started, you know what I mean? Back in the 80s. And there's always been 18th Street lurking around. Our whole family was raised right here. We lived here. My mom, she was raised right here too.
In this house?
In this house, yeah. If you're talking about gang area, this is Headhunters.
Is this where you started skating?
No, I was too small. Right here was just like me growing up, like learning how to ride a bike.
Those are bullet holes.
Yeah, look, you could see, those are bullet holes right there. If these streets could talk, they'd have a better story to tell you than what I could. A way better story. Like I said, a lot of my friends in skateboarding used to really like trip out on how they would see my dad or my uncles, my sisters, everybody in my family, we're considered gang members. And you're guilty by association regardless. a lot of the times they wouldn't even want to drop me off at home. Like I said, they would 2 blocks away and let me walk the rest.
Well, I remember meeting Fabian, and first impression was that he was a nice guy. He was like really cool. He was just down to like introduce himself, and like, you know, he was just a good guy. But I knew that he was like real. Like I knew that if it came down, if the time came where he had to like throw down or anything like that, like I wouldn't want to fuck with him. And I knew that his family was all up in it, and you know, skateboarding kept him away from that.
Were you in a gang or anything like that, or just like joined what they were doing?
Yeah, I did, but I never got too deep into it. I knew it was always there because I was born into it, man. You know, there's no like, oh, I want to go hang out with these guys. I'd go home and I'd be with them guys. You know what I mean? It's a difference when you gotta go somewhere and be with your homeboys or your gang. But when you go home and you live with it, it's nothing to you. It's just how you are, you know?
Who would you say out of the Menace guys was like the most motivated to get tricks?
Probably Joey and Fabian. Those guys were always motivated. Fabian would call me, "You want to go film?" Like, yeah.
Were there though a lot of other crazy stories, you know, filming with Fabian? And
I wouldn't say just crazy, just maybe not normal for regular skaters, but Fabian wasn't like your regular skater. He just didn't take bullshit.
Since we were kids, you know, Fabian always had a short fuse. Not to mention, everything was put on a platter for us, you know, from women to drugs to fame. So you add that to the formula, you know, and it's a recipe for destruction.
Skateboarding kind of saved me from getting into trouble, but at the same time, I think I had a lot of time and money on my hands. From not having nothing to having a little something, it felt pretty good, you know, and sometimes you think you're invincible. Oh man, you know what? I gotta take you to this house. It was a drug house. Instead of them having a big pit bull, I was their guard dog. They know that I used to skateboard and everything. They trusted me. When my money was good, they loved me. You know what I mean? When the money was good, I had all kinds of money to buy dope from them and to give them skateboards when they needed for their kids or whatever. And then when my money ran out, guess what? They didn't like me no more.
So what exactly, you were mostly just doing drugs, or were you like?
I was selling and mostly doing. One thing I did, and I'm thankful for, is I separated the gang life and my drug use and my skateboarding for a lot of reasons. Mainly because I was embarrassed and I didn't want to show my face. And, you know, I was looked at as Fabian Alomar, pro skater. He's a good skater, real ghetto kid, real coming up, and I didn't want to ruin that. I mean, that image I have was good because I kept skating and I produced and I did everything I was supposed to do. But I felt this weird feeling inside, like I couldn't come around. I didn't want to burn no bridges. You know, I couldn't burn my bridges with skateboarding. I wanted to keep it separate, so I stood in the hood. I stood around where the spots where no one would come.
We grew up in the streets, so it's like it was tough to make a transition to like being a full-on skater and shit. Like, you know, you skate and then you go back to the hood and then you dealing with all these obstacles. It's not like we're going back to the suburbs and it's all good and we can skate every day. It wasn't like that. And it caught up to them. You know, Fabian got locked up. You know, that's what Reem was like, you know what, I gotta think about, you know, making it a real skate company, not about an image thing.
You know, there was so many things going on in my life at the time that it was bound to happen. I showed up to Kareem's house to pick up my check one day, and he's telling me, you know, this is probably one of your last checks right here. You know, this is it. You know, I've cut you so low that I can't be, now I'm just gonna, you know, I don't see you doing anything. And I'm telling him, and it's true, my ankle was swollen, you know, but from skating on dope. Once I got kicked off, things went like took a whole nother turn, I guess, you know. See where that bungalow is?
Yeah.
That fence where the diamond is, the baseball diamond? There's bathrooms right there. You see, there they are, the white bathrooms. Those are my offices, my oficinas. Anybody who went in there got fucked up while I was smoking crack. These dudes playing tennis, these little Filipino dudes and shit, they all go in there in the morning and like, hey, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, let's go play tennis, you know? And they go in there and they want to play tennis and they want, hey, why is the bathroom locked and shit? Like, I could hear them talk like, and they would try to force it open because I locked it on purpose. Because I'm in there smoking dope, looking at nudie magazines and shit. And that's what I did. I do me and do me. So I'm in there fucking doing my thing. Wait, where's my church? So I'm getting loaded in there and they're fucking up my high by trying to get into my offices, like into those, and I'll be like, man, what the fuck? So when they come in, all they did was get robbed. I might fuck them up and then I end up leaving. I would say a prayer before I go rob you. God, please don't let me get caught. Don't let me get hurt. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. I know it's wrong, but I feel like I have no choice. And so I would go and rob this person and jack him, and I let him know, hey, look, straight up, I'm on dope. I'm smoking crack. You better give me all your money or you're gonna get hurt. And if you don't give it up, believe me, I'm gonna cut you or I'm gonna shoot you. So you're bound to give it up, either way, whether you wanna walk away or me drive away with you laying there. So most of the time they would cooperate. And I was robbing people right outside my door. When you're on cocaine, that stuff really plays a number on your head, you know what I mean? So I would do it at all times. In the evening, if I catch you slipping, I'll get you and rob you, whatever. You know, that was my mentality.
We are the G.O.Ds, and we came to rob the spot like Iron Man stars.